Well, what a difference a year makes when we look at the Red Bull KTM squad. Tom Vial, the two-time motocross world champion from Europe, will be back for his second year in Supercross. The big change is this spot. Juju, or Julien Beaumer, who was not a KTM rider at this time a year ago, was fast on a privateer Yamaha at the first Supercross Futures race of last year. So fast that KTM basically signed him right then and there just for a Futures deal, just to develop him. And now he's a full factory rider less than a year later, taking the spot vacated by Max Vohland.
Yeah, he looks like he could be a breakout star. And I remember when they brought him over to the KTM test track, right away, he was as fast or faster than Max Vohland. That's the rumors that were coming out of that track. And I think they were like, hey, we're on to something here. We need to get this kid under contract. And yes, I fully agree that you're looking across the landscape. And yes, you know, kids are going to be fast. They'll be inside that top 10. But this could be a kid that really just jumps to the front and makes a splash a la Hayden Deegan. Now, that's a really big bar, and that's something, you know, it's a high ask. But I think for a kid like Beaumer, he has that talent, Monster Energy Supercross, to be a star right away.
But the biggest story of all is in the 450 division for this team. Cooper Webb out, Chase Sexton in. Now, look, when you have the talent and the resume of Chase Sexton, you have many options. He could have stayed at Honda. It wasn't like they gave him the boot because Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence are moving up. I want to clarify that. I believe he did talk to Yamaha. Kawasaki had Anderson's spot open. And of course, he eventually landed here at KTM. So my question is, why did he see KTM as the one? Because I would feel if you're Sexton, you could pretty much go wherever you want. What do you think drew him to this team?
Well, I give Red Bull KTM a lot of credit because they acted nearly 18 months ago on this, and they knew that there was an opportunity with Chase Sexton. And myself, people in the media, we were hearing about Chase Sexton struggling with the motorcycle. When you think about that time, both Ken Roczen and Chase Sexton were struggling. Trey Kennard, who was a test rider, even mentioned that they went the wrong direction for 2022. Think about how long ago that was. They went the wrong direction in the offseason. They didn't get the settings right. And Chase Sexton was frustrated with the motorcycle, and KTM jumped at the opportunity. They said, hey, there could be an opportunity for you in 2024. We'd like to start talking now. And we heard rumors about a letter of intent being signed over the summer of 2022. Over a year ago, they had already got a letter of intent signed, right? And we'll never have confirmation of these things, but the signs were there, the rumblings that were going on. And this was just a huge coup. And I think their foresight and their willingness to be aggressive landed them the reigning Monster Energy Supercross champion for 2024.
Yeah, one other thing about this team's future, KTM has this side project where they introduce what they call the Factory Edition motorcycle. Their 2024 bike is already out and you can buy that. But I believe there might be a new generation bike, the Factory Edition, coming, and they usually don't show that until mid-December. So if you've seen some social media of Sexton on the bike now, that might not be the bike that he's racing come Anaheim, and it would be the same story for Aaron Plessinger. Now that looks like old news, but Plessinger's deal was up. KTM signed him to a new deal for 2024, and I remember Plessinger was hurt for most of last year, the previous season, 2022, and going into 23, everyone said, are you worried about getting a ride? And he said, if I perform like I know I should, there's nothing to worry about. He didn't get that elusive win, but he did well enough for KTM to want to bring him back.
Well, AP is one of those riders that everybody likes. He's a fan favorite. You know, he had that heartbreaking moment in Detroit last year. We almost got that win. But I find it very interesting that Red Bull KTM signed him to a one-year deal. And what do they have in mind for the 2025 season? Is there a rider they're looking at? Do they just want to keep their opportunities open if another rider comes or somebody graduating from the 250 class that they want to sign? So keep an eye on that. But for AP, he's just got to keep his head down, worry about his own results. And if he performs in 2024, he goes out and wins a race, wins multiple races, he's going to land somewhere. You don't win races at that level and not have a factory ride. So whether it's at Red Bull KTM or elsewhere, I think it's really up to AP to determine that fate.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.